everyone. So it is Saturday morning, December 10th, 2016. Welcome to my channel. This is Real Life and Keto. I'm going to try to do a relatively short video. I have a very busy day ahead. Me and my husband and my sister are going to go over and try to help my dad finish putting up Christmas lights at my parents'. I am still in my pajamas and unshowered. My hair, I got bedhead. This is me the morning after, so sorry if I'm unkempt. But I will do another video of me all spruced up for my Christmas party and add it to the end of this, so you can see the final results of me in my dress and all ready for the party. But anyway, I wanted to try to go over some stuff really quickly. Kind of an overview of my 6-day fat fast and my thoughts on it, my results on it, and my suggestions if someone else wants to try this. One of the things that I want to say is this is not a way of life. This is not a way to eat on a regular basis. It's a very short term to get over either a plateau or to get back on track after cheating or falling out of ketosis, that kind of thing. So, let's start with this morning's weight. Are you ready? I got on the scales this morning and, drum roll, I'm not going to go through all the where every day's progress. I've done that every day. And so what I'm going to tell you, last Sunday, my start weight, 195.2. This morning, 182.2. Down 13 pounds. So super excited about that. And I'm thrilled. That's the lowest I have been in decades. So yeah, first of all, I hadn't been under 200 in decades, and then to get down to 182, 180 anything is exciting, super exciting. So I'm thrilled. And so let's see. Of course, my first suggestions about this, if you're going to do this, you need to have a plan. You need to set a short time limit of how many days you're going to do this, and go into it with the idea that it's an experiment. Don't have expectations that you're going to drop 10 pounds, 13 pounds, 20 pounds, any crazy, just go into it I'm going to try this and see what happens. That's my best suggestion. Have a plan. Know what foods you're going to eat or you plan on eating. You know what foods have the right kind of macros in it, what the right amount of protein and fat. And also, that is the other thing. Set your macros and your calorie goals and use a tool like MyFitnessPal or something to track, because it's not going to work if you don't really stay on top of what exactly you're eating, measuring, and just, you have to be stringent if you really want this to work. At least that's my opinion. I really think that the best way to do this is to really have a plan and really just tell yourself, I'm going to do this for, 3 days, and I'm gonna be really strict with myself. Like my goals were to keep my calories between 1,000 and 1,100. My other goal was not to close my FitnessPal until I was actually done eating, and then when I did close my FitnessPal, if it wasn't registered in my FitnessPal, I wasn't eating it. If I hadn't already accounted for it, I was done for the day. I wasn't putting anything else in my body. Make sure you drink a ton of water and add potassium, add salt, sea salt, have bouillon or something on hand. You want to keep your electrolytes up. You don't want to feel like crap. That's straight up the way it is. Know what food you want to eat. That's really important too. I made notes, so excuse me while I kind of refer to this because I want to stay on top of it. The common foods that I had my keto coffee every day, with my Kerrygold butter and my heavy whipping cream at a minimum. And then quite often, like every other day or so, I would add my red palm oil, which is very high in vitamin A and vitamin C. I think vitamin C. Anyway, it's got a lot of good stuff in it, so it's a really good supplemental oil. It has a lot of macronutrients or micronutrients, whatever the word is. Anyway, and of course I have the light blasting on me, so it's hard to read my page. Before I started this, I wanted to touch base on what I was thinking before I started this diet. And one of the things, I had talked in a previous video that my mother-in-law kept telling me, you don't need to lose any more weight, don't lose any more weight, you're perfect the way you are, and kind of indicating that if I lost more weight, I was going to look bad. And it messed with my head, and then because my weight had been creeping up, the other thing I was thinking was, what if I can't lose more weight? What if this is where I'm at and this is as far as I can go? What if my body just stops and I'm 195 or 192 or 190 something is where my body is comfortable sitting and I can't get below it? Because I had dropped down previously in November to 186.4 and then the weight just crept back up. And so, you know, it was like, could I be happy at this weight? And I thought, you know, if I have absolutely tried my best to get where I want to be, to get to my goal, and my goal is between 170 and 175. I don't know until I get there where I want to be. And it's not like I'm going to change my eating habits when I actually get there. It's just a goal. And then keto, I'm thinking that if you continue to eat keto, your body will regulate itself. I may or may not lose weight if I need to. If my body still needs to shed some, it will. But it was really, could I be happy? And I'm like, I could be happy if I knew I had done everything I could to lose the weight and just my body refused. Then I would have to be satisfied. Well, this is better than the other 65 pounds that I was weighing, you know, when I weighed 255.8 pounds in January. 195 is tons better. So, but it was like, I have to make sure that I try first. I have to make sure that I don't just quit and say, good enough. You know, fine, whatever. I'm not going to fight it no more, because it just, that wasn't what I wanted to do. So I'm super excited about where I am right now. Will the weight come back? That's the question. Okay, so I've done this for 6 days. I've been very stringent with my calories and my way of eating and my macros and everything, and we'll find out. I mean, I will keep you guys posted on how the weight, what happens with the weight, if it goes back up, if it, you know, and how it goes. That's the whole point of this channel, is to take you along on this journey. And I'm not gonna, you know, not tell you if the weight comes back on. I told you before when the weight came back on. Granted, I did kind of disappear for like a week and a half, because I was just so bummed out about it. But I do eventually come back, and I do eventually tell you what's going on. So, like I said, I've got the glare of the thing, and it kind of blinds me a little bit. So yeah, let's see here. Things that I noticed during this fast. I wasn't really hungry for the most part. What I did notice was that my habits, I tended to have the habit to, I would eat dinner and then I would snack on something, even if it was just like a couple tablespoons of sugar-free dark chocolate chips or something like that. So I wasn't eating that kind of stuff on this. I was avoiding. The only sugar sweetener that I had was my erythritol stevia mix, the Truvia, in my coffee. I wasn't, there wasn't any treats or snacks. There wasn't room in the calories for empty food. I was eating eggs and bacon and pepperoni and cheese. I went back through my MyFitnessPal. I had nothing, no trans fats whatsoever, and it's been a trend. I went back through my MyFitnessPal and put everything on averages for weeks, and looked at my stop. Go lay down. And I haven't consumed trans fats in a long time. Just they back forever. I eat healthy fats and no trans fats. So it was, you know, pepperoni and mozzarella, bacon, eggs, lots of eggs. Had boiled eggs, scrambled eggs. What else? And my keto coffee with the Kerrygold grass-fed butter. Maggie and Rocky, stop it. So anyway, I did have some temptations, and basically what I told myself is I can do anything for 6 days. This is only for 6 days. So, you know, I have to get through now, and then I can do something else. Hang on. Maggie, stop it. Stop it. Hey, come here. Okay, the dog stopped barking for 2 seconds. Okay, what foods did I crave? That was one of the things. So I dealt with the temptations just by telling myself that I could get through anything for 6 days, and that, you know, I had to stay focused on my goals. The things that I noticed that I was craving that I was not allowing myself to have, zucchini. I wanted to make zoodles really bad. Coleslaw sounded really good to me. I also wanted to have like keto pancakes. I make an almond flour pancake that I absolutely love. And one night when I was having bacon and eggs, I'm like, man, pancakes would go really well with this. But I didn't have them because they have a lot of fiber in them and they're very calorie dense. So those are the couple of things that I didn't let myself have that will be added back into my food plan. One of the things that I have been asked about quite a few times was intermittent fasting, and if I've tried it or if I would try it. I looked into intermittent fasting in the past, and even before I was doing keto, somebody I knew had mentioned it to me, and the idea, if you don't know what it is it's basically you create a short window of eating and then you don't eat for 16 hours or whatever, 24 hours, 20 hours, whatever you create this 8-hour window of eating, and then the rest of the time you don't eat. The problem is when I get up in the morning, it's not that I'm so much hungry, but I do want my keto coffee first thing in the morning, and I wake up at 5 or 4 in the morning, it depends on the morning. And I take my supplements in the morning, so I need to have something in my stomach or the supplements will make me sick. So, anyway, I have to pause this again. Back again. So, intermittent fasting is a short window of eating, and I had looked into it, but the problem for me, and this is just for me, is I get up super early and I want to have my keto coffee. I don't want to drink it black. If I drink it black and take my supplements, it will make me nauseous, and that's not fun. And I usually don't get home from work. The soonest I would get home usually is 5 o'clock, and that's the soonest. So if I wake up at 5 in the morning and I don't get home until 5 o'clock, that's 12 hours. That only leaves you 12 hours of fasting, which isn't really considered fasting. And I don't eat immediately getting home. I still have to make a meal. And so, it would be actually 11 hours of fasting, and that's not really, that's just normal eating. So, and I like to have dinner with my husband if at all possible. There are times where we might eat separately, but I would prefer to have dinner with him. So intermittent fasting, at least this point in my life, is not really an option. If things change and our schedules change, it might be an option later on, but right now, I probably won't do it. To summarize, would I do this again? I may sometime in the future. I don't foresee doing it anytime soon. I am curious to see what happens now that I go back to regular eating. I went to a couple of keto calculators and switched up my macros to adjust for more calories, and so I've changed my FitnessPal goals to match a more regular eating habit with still trying to lose weight. So I've upped my calories to 1,300 calories, my carbs to 5%, my protein to 20%, and my fats to 75%. One of the things that I had mentioned in my previous video is somebody giving me grief about not eating enough protein. There has been new research stating that we do not need as much protein as people think. And I actually went back through my FitnessPal and I looked at my weekly averages all the way back to January. And my average protein intake on a daily basis was between 60 and 70 grams. Some weeks would be more, obviously, and rarely was it less, but it was usually between that. And according to recent studies, your minimum protein requirements. And of course, everybody's different. Some people need more protein, especially if you're very active and you're very athletic, you're going to need more. I am not. My job is a sedentary job, and the only time I'm really active is on the weekends. So, but the average is, and you kind of have to do the math because it's all based on metrics, but the average person only needs 0.8 grams for every kilo that they weigh. And a kilo is 2.2 pounds. So if you take your weight and you divide it by 2.2 pounds and then times it times 0.8, that's the minimum amount of protein that you need. You don't necessarily need more than that, depending on how active you are. If you eat more than that, that's entirely up to you. But after having somebody give me grief about not getting enough protein, and first of all, I'm like, this is 6 days. I'm not going to die from not getting enough protein in 6 days. And I'm getting a lot of macro and micronutrients from my healthy fats, so that was not a problem. I did want to give you a brief update. Besides the scales, the non-scale victories, or whatever you want to call it. In January, my waist was 42 inches. Today, my waist is 34 inches. So I've lost 8 inches off my waist. I'm thrilled. I measure other measurements. My hips in January were almost 45. They're 41. So I've lost 4 inches off my hips. My neck was 16. It's 14 now. So, you know, I'm thrilled about, you know, this weight loss. It works for me, and I always wanted to lose the weight. I just never really knew if I could make it happen. I had tried and failed so many times in the past. Tried different diets and eating plans, and just this way works for me. So I'm thrilled with it. I am very interested in helping anybody else who wants to do this, and not for profit or anything like that. I'm just, if you have questions or comments and you want, I will direct you to other websites and other, you know, situations to help you do the research to find what works for you. That is huge. Everybody has to find what works for them. This works for me, and I'm thrilled with it. Another thing, let's see what else I had here. I gave you my measurements. And I guess the last thing that I wanted to mention is this morning I decided to create a Facebook group, and it should be relatively easy to find once I put it out there. It is a closed group, so you'll have to ask to join, and I'll put the link in below, but it's called Real Life Keto. And the premise of the group is that you have to find what works for you. I know people who do higher carbs, higher protein. You just have to find what works for you, and that's real life. You have to have a livable way of eating. So that's a new group I created, and if you want to join it, please send a request. I will try to check on a daily basis, you know, and add you to the group. Please make sure that your Facebook page profile is open enough that I can make sure you're a real person, and you know, and please come to the group with kindness. We are all in this together, and we all need to support each other, and we all have our own opinions and our own different body types, and we all have to find what works for us and what our goals are. So, I mean, and that's why I called it Real Life Keto, because in the real world, we are all different, but we're on this journey together. So, please give this a thumbs up and like and share, and I will post another either picture or video of me in my party dress. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.